This episode is for Friday, September 11th, 2015. Welcome, Meteor fans. I'm your host, Josh Owens.
And I'm your co-host.
Cut in.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
My name is Deanius. Dean Radcliffe.
I should send you the funny bit clip to the Meteor Club podcast.
No, I am Ben Strahan. Everyone knows me. Come on. Follow me on Twitter, _Benster.
Oh, I loved the tweet we got the other day. Like, I tweeted about like listening as Ben and I talk about all the Meteor news of the week, and someone's like, "Don't you mean Rye?"
Yeah.
You're not listening to the current episodes, are you?
Yeah, seriously.
It's funny.
Yeah. But then, like, a shout out, like, we had a great guy come in, join our group. And he was like talking praises about our podcast and everything. So that was a huge
update. Yeah. The Slack channel.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure out what you meant by group.
Sorry.
That's all right.
All these words, man, it's a Friday.
Yeah, I'm playing.
I'm already drinking some Samuel Adams.
I'm not allowed to drink anymore. I'm on like a 30-day no drinking cycle.
Yeah.
I might try to extend it all the way up to like space camp or something, and then then fall
crash
way
into
off that wagon.
Good stuff.
Yeah, my wife's like, "How many beers do you think everyone will drink?" And I'm like, "I'll have like 20 a day myself. I don't know about anyone else."
You're gonna have to like hide them somewhere, like in the basement or something, because otherwise they're gonna be like gone way too soon. You're gonna have to we gotta ration, bro. Otherwise we won't survive the weekend.
That's what the hard liquor's for.
All right.
So let's talk about some news.
Let's do this.
All right. So this week we're going to talk about Node version 4 from 0 to 4. 30 days to Meteor from .NET.
Nice.
Why Meteor needs a conference.
Totally. Why? I don't know why. Why? We'll find out.
Meteor plus React Native. Kind of curious to hear what you say about all that.
Yeah.
And then Kadira Debug got some updates. We're going to talk about it a little bit. So I think this is officially the last Meteor podcast, by the way.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. No, we're not going anywhere. We're just renaming the podcast. I've decided to officially do it. Ben's seen the new design. I may take a week off next week and spend the time instead working on the new site and getting it transferred over. But we're going to switch it to Simplecast and change everything over to be a Meteor app. And frankly, I feel like we're talking about a lot more news than just Meteor all the time. So if you've noticed, when it becomes the Creator Podcast, I changed the tagline. Someone called me out on it today. And Niall called me out and said, "Why didn't you put Angular in the new tagline?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about Angular."
Oops. What was that again?
Everybody forgets about Angular.
That's just a small thing. It's not a lot of people are using it.
Yeah. I think my mind likes to glaze over it because I'm just not a dependency injection kind of guy.
We're simple people. People. Yeah, we only know one thing, and then we
just lays. Yeah.
That's right.
No. So anyway, be on the lookout for that. The meteorpodcast.com will still work, but it'll redirect to podcast.creator.io once we get it done. And everything should hopefully be seamless with the RSS feed and iTunes if you're using that kind of stuff. So can try to make it painless.
Yep. So Creator Podcast, here we come.
Yep.
Man. The next step, the next evolution.
I was thinking about like a tagline, like where the Meteor, React, Node, and Angular news lands in your ear. I don't know. What do you think?
It's creepy.
Yeah, not good.
I don't like anything landing in my ear.
I'll keep thinking on it.
It's kind of gross. It's like a wet willy.
Yeah.
Are we the wet willy of the JavaScript world?
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Maybe that's the tagline.
That is.
The wet willies. JavaScript world.
The wet willy that you'll like.
Oops.
Ooh.
Here, I was recording with us in the wrong configuration. So if you're watching, you saw Ben really big.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, super Ben. All right, so let's talk about it. Node version 4. What in the what?
How did this happen?
Yeah. So if you weren't following along in the Node world, what's wrong with you? No, I'm just kidding. There was the whole split with IO.js and Node, and they decided to go with a completely different numbering system. And then they were pushing out, like a new version every month, basically. They went like 1, 2, 3 pretty fast. 3 just came out. I swear to God, we were talking about like 2 weeks ago, not even. And then boom, all of a sudden here's 4. So I don't know what all this means. I'm spinning from this. I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, I think the new version has some new stuff in it. They're getting a bunch of ES6 stuff in place and starting to take advantage of that. And they've upgraded to like version 4.5 of the V8 engine and a lot of different things like that. And so the other thing is too, they now have like full ARM support. So you can run this on an ARM 6, 7, and the 64-bit ARM 8 chip. So
that's awesome.
Interesting stuff, right?
Internet of Things.
Yeah, definitely. Running Node. Internet of Things running Node. They also announced some LTS support. So if you're familiar with how LTS works with Ubuntu, I think it's similar to that in that, they're going to have a version that they'll keep patching for a while. And they'll make sure that it's kind of relevant for a long time. So you don't necessarily have to automatically upgrade to Node 6 when it comes out next week. You can stay on Node 4 for another month or 2. Or maybe a little longer. I don't know. Maybe their long-term support means a year. I have no idea. I actually didn't read the LTS stuff.
So does this mean that we don't need to add the ECMAScript 6 package when we're like testing out 1.2?
Oh, you absolutely have to. And like the thing is, I don't know when we'll see. I mean, I guess technically today we're still the Meteor podcast, so we can talk about it in that context. But I think it's going to be a while before we see Node 4 support drop in Meteor. And I think the reason for that is because, they're reliant on some things like Node.js and fibers. And they're going to be relying on either helping those guys get the libraries upgraded to work with Node 4, or they're going to have to make a decision to ditch it. If they ditch it, like that's going to actually be a pretty big thing in the Meteor community. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
I heard version 12 of Meteor is coming out in a couple.
Well, yeah, they're going to come out with 1.2, and then version 2 and 3 will be out, the week after and the week after that. So.
Yeah, a lot to cover.
Cool. These release cycles are crazy to me. I don't know.
Awesome. Yeah, can't wait for 1.2 to drop.
Oh, this is interesting. I was actually just getting down into the finer grain notes, and it looks like it comes with an updated version of Node.js. So I think maybe just have to get fibers to work with this updated version, and then should be theoretically good to upgrade. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. 30 days to Meteor from .NET. I thought .NET was the future. They open sourced it.
It's the past.
Yeah.
Present and future.
What? You're trippy, man. So I thought this was like a pretty thing that Meteor kind of pulled out and said surprise and put it on their blog. So this guy from Catapult in Toledo, Ohio, close to you.
No.
No?
No. That's like saying Southern Illinois is close to you.
Okay. Sorry about that. But I thought it was like, they didn't get into specifics, but it was awesome to like see a guy's perspective who's running a dev shop, a consulting firm, and I thought he did a great job of really explaining from day one what they were thinking, and then walking through it. And sometimes when I'm in the mix this much, then like I kind of like forget about it. Some of the stuff that I took for granted. And the next thing that I'll be talking about on the podcast is also like taking things for granted, the React Native thing, but we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was awesome. It was good.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Q&A that you did with Paul?
Yeah.
And my question with him, even though he's my boss, was like, what made you like switch from a Rails shop to a Meteor shop? And I think this article here is kind of like what I wanted to hear from him.
Did you email it to him and be like, this is how you should have answered on the Q&A?
Yes. No, but I mean, like, this is the chronological thinking that like I needed. In Chicago, you come across people. I'm talking to people all the time that have different stacks and things that like I want to know how to talk to people. I want to know how to communicate with them and show them like how Meteor would be better and beneficial for them where they are right now.
Yeah.
And so this is the value I got out of this article.
Well, that's a great point, right? Because I think at some point you get so proficient that you're having much different conversations than people who are getting started. And
yes,
like it's sometimes hard for people to be at a high level using it every day and then like explain, like I think in conversation with people who say they know Meteor, like you tend to assume things that maybe they do or don't know, and there's no good way to gauge that. And yeah, I think this is a good article. Like he breaks it up by weeks. Like here, we did this on week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I love, week 4's title is no turning back. Like that was very much like I got 48 hours into my first app and I'm like, I don't want to do Rails ever again. It's terrible.
Yeah. Dean was swearing like crazy earlier this week because he had to jump into a Rails app for a little bit. It's like, damn it. How do I?
Yeah, so I did about 2 months of work when I was at Differential on Meteor apps, and then we had a Rails client come along, and they're like, we are our best Rails guy, and they like shoved me on it, and I'm like, I want to shoot myself. This is terrible. And it was like, it was a legacy Rails app, right? Like this thing was years old and they had bastardized it. It was terrible.
That's wild.
Anyway, so this thing, I love the title too. This isn't your daddy's JavaScript. Well, I mean, technically, this is the same JavaScript that my dad did use. Just saying.
Yeah.
ES6 maybe. Oh, sorry. ES 2015 maybe. Maybe that's not my dad's JavaScript, but
right.
I definitely think, to me, I agree wholeheartedly with the bottom of this thing when he says Meteor is a game changer. I've been doing web development for 10 years now, and I've been on a Mac that entire time as well. Like I remember my very first job, my remote job, working for a spammer in New York City.
No way.
From my house here in Cincinnati, and like I went out and got a Mac Mini just so I could afford to like have a better Rails development environment and not be concerned with Windows. But he talks about like how their Windows support is pretty good, and how they can undercut competitors now because they feel like they can build great apps for half the cost. And I absolutely think, that's what brought me here. And I think that's one of the reasons I stick around is because even long-term, I feel like development speed is still faster than other platforms. So,
yeah. And it's still really early. Like you and I are in it every day. We know where the pain points are. We see where things are heading to be improved or what needs to happen to be improved. So like that speed increase is just going to like increase as in the next 12 months.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, again, I've said it before, like I draw on my experience from Rails and like watching, like I was there pre 1.0 launch and all that kind of stuff, and kind of watching it again, like, if I look at Rails 1, 1.1, 1.2 compared to like Rails 3 when they merged with Merb, like that was huge. Like a Rails 3 app looked nothing like a Rails 1 app. They were completely different and had a lot of different ideas and things that were different to them. I mean, some things stay the same, right? Like you still have the controller and all that kind of stuff, but things change. Get better.
Yeah. I think they did a good job outlining each week, and I think they needed to kind of go into detail with that because of what they said at the end, that they saw a 50% increase, a 40 to 50% increase. Like if they just threw that number out ahead of time, everyone would be like, bullshit. But then they walked through the details, and I think, he kind of laid out the evidence.
Yeah. So I would say, like, I don't know if 50% has held up for me, but I think it's somewhere in the range between 30 and 40.
I'm interested to see like what they built. That's what you're developing, and if it was just like something boilerplate, just a web app, I could see like being super surprised at the increase. But if you're getting out to the fringes and you got mobile going and you're trying to tie in with a bunch of other things and working with asynchronous data, I don't know. You got some work to do there. So it's good stuff.
All right.
It's a win for Meteor. Woo-hoo.
Why Meteor needs a conference.
I think I know someone who's doing that.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Just send him this article. Maybe this is a good thing. So I wrote a little article. Like I wanted to talk about the thoughts on why I wanted to throw a conference and really like why I was talking to MDG in the first place and why I felt it was important. I think for me, like the camaraderie and the relationships you build there, the networking you get, like that is all great. But I don't think it should be like our primary, like it's not my primary motivation. My primary motivation is still to figure out a way to spread like the Meteor knowledge out amongst like more people. If you look at the dev shop every month, I think they're trying to do that on a small scale, and we really need to have that on a much larger scale. And so they have 2 good like 30-minute talks with some Q&A. I want to have like 8 good 30-minute talks with some Q&A, like let's showcase some people that aren't necessarily living, I think I said maybe like the San Francisco echo chamber, like not all of us are there. Like many developers are in other places. So let's have something somewhere else. So
so let's meet up in Tennessee.
Why not?
Why not?
The Smoky Mountains are beautiful in October. So if you've never been, it's pretty amazing. I'm hoping there's still leaves on the trees.
I'm super stoked.
Yeah, you guys are driving down. That's an awesome drive, by the way. Yeah.
So I guess this is an invite. We're going to be renting a passenger van. If anyone's having a hard time finding flights into Knoxville, why don't you fly into O'Hare in Chicago? And then like truck it on down with us. We'll be there in time for dinner on Friday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Exciting. And party. Speaking of dinner, like that's the other thing I pointed out on this. Like for my wife's birthday, we tried out a little test run recipe of a sourdough French toast casserole, and I put a picture of that in there because everyone enjoyed it so much. I think we're going to make it for the event. So one morning there'll be sourdough French toast casserole.
Very cool. That was for Wendy's birthday?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Very cool. Was that your invention?
No, I cannot claim that. We were watching The Pioneer Woman. I think that was it on Food Network, and she made it, and we're like, oh, that looks really good, but mine didn't turn out and didn't look anything like hers. I think I let mine soak overnight, so it became more dense, maybe, and she didn't. Hers only soaked for like an hour or so. But my own invention is on the top there. I made a apple bourbon pecan topping for it. Gonna say it's pretty delicious.
Oh man, that sounds good. Pecans are my weakness.
Oh, nice. Good to know.
It's the way to my heart.
So, no matter what, like I feel like I understand not everyone can attend this event and can't make it, and we have a limited number of spots anyway. They're almost gone actually at this point. I think we've got like maybe 10 offsite tickets at this point. And we may actually cut a few off just because we don't want it to get too crowded, and we're kind of back and forth on how many seats we have at the table and stuff. But we're gonna do our best to get quality recordings of all these talks and put them up on YouTube for everybody to watch, because I feel like that is how we get the conversation going. If we have 10 people giving a quality talk and everybody's tweeting about it and they're up on YouTube, and maybe we can start to generate a little more buzz, and people can learn some stuff, and everybody gets a benefit even though you aren't able to attend. You get a talk and you get a talk.
Boom. Yeah, I gotta still figure out what I'm going to be talking about. I don't know, maybe something with React.
Oh, Dean took your spot.
React Native. Dean took my spot?
I'm just kidding. Yeah,
someone's going to show up sick.
Tell us about React Native, Ben.
React Native. What a segue. Dude, so...
yours was better than mine. I'm just saying. Just playing off your segue.
So Meteor plus React Native. Our boys over at Differential, Spencer, he wrote this awesome post about just the general things of using React Native. So for those who don't know, many people use Cordova with Meteor. It's built-in support in the build script with Meteor, and I like it. I use it every day, interacting with Cordova. It's good stuff. I wish the performance was better. I wish that I had access to native UI and native animations and all that fun stuff, right? So here comes React Native. It looks really awesome. Woo. And you dive into it right away, and you're like, oh, wait a minute here. This is a new client. We don't get any of Meteor's client power. We have to like wire it up all ourselves. Oh man, do I want to deal with that? I don't know. And then also no Android. So if you do client work like myself, then your clients are going to, they want to be everywhere. Android's 50% of the market.
Well, I think that's one of the upsides, right, to Cordova and Meteor. Like, I can tell someone like, oh, hey, that'll take us 12 weeks or 15 weeks. That'll cost you $50,000, but you'll end up with like a native app for both platforms at the end of it. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of a big win.
But like, I'm a designer, and so performance, a good UX, like it's really hard to fake it. It's almost impossible to achieve it completely in Cordova. And so, there's tricks that you can get around it. But ultimately, it's like, man, like when do I start playing with the big boys? When do I really get in and get the power that I want? And it's mainly like for that. It's for user experience. It's for UI stuff. And there's trade-offs with it. Now, this article is a great write-up on the trade-offs and how to work around it. And it's something not to be afraid of. So, and he lists out these challenges. How many are there? 1, 2, 3. He gives 3 challenges, and I thought they were great. One is, hey, there's like no user accounts on the client. That's one thing that we take for granted with Meteor is like how great the user accounts is, and the security. There's like just a few things you got to watch out for security, and then you're good to go. But he walks through it. It's no big deal. I'm glad that he gives code examples. No data reactivity, and walking through that. And then the last one was data interaction. So, and that's the cool thing is like right off the bat, people are like, hey, I'm going to have to wire up DDP and then we're good to go. That's something that people think of right away. And I really liked it because of how short this article was. It included code snippets, and I think this is maybe the future of Meteor. Like, what are you doing even like right now? You're doing something funky with having like static pages, right? And bringing a DDP connection in.
No.
Did I hear something?
No.
Must have been about someone else, huh?
Yeah. Not me. I've just been doing the Cordova app and then just little other things here and there. But the main thing's that Cordova app.
I think interacting with other clients and interjecting like Meteor as a backend and figuring out just really quickly how to use user accounts, how to work with reactivity and data from Meteor, and plugging it into any kind of front end that you have is something that more people should get familiar with. And this is a great article to like introduce that and not have you be scared about it, and be excited, because React Native is something exciting, something that like, I do want to try this.
The question is, are we going to see like React Native support for Android? Or are we going to see React Native support for tvOS?
Anyway, for Android, I asked the same question, and there is like React Native for Android.com or something like that. And there's like a countdown that like someone tweeted out something from the React Native team a long time ago, and someone started up a countdown website for it. So supposedly it's like 2 weeks away or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know, but somehow I doubt that.
With the new, if you look at the release log, they are mentioning some changes that they're making so that it would work in both Android and iOS, or at least the terminology is better understood.
Yeah. So like you kind of blew me off there when I said tvOS, but in reality, like, no, you got to stop laughing. Like, seriously, now that it's going to have an app store, and
I'm just thinking of Google TV.
Well, I've never used Google TV. I'm sorry, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm an Apple TV guy. So, but I mean, you have to legitimately consider this conversation, because Netflix is using React, and I mean, I don't know if this stat was true, but Apple said that they own something like 60% of the home streaming market. Home TV streaming market, I think.
I think that number is skewed, because like I have multiple different streaming boxes at my house.
Do you? More than just an Apple TV?
I do. I have two Apple TVs. I have a Roku 3, and I have a Google Play dongle.
Google Chromecast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got a Chromecast, and then everything else is a Apple TV. But I mean, honestly, like that Chromecast is going to get replaced as soon as I buy my new Apple TV.
Did you sign up for the developer?
I did not. It says in there that they're going to preference people who have apps already in the App Store. So chances are I'm not going to see one because I don't have an app in the App Store.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do with that.
What do you mean?
Because because I don't have apps under my name, but I have apps in there like that I have like a developer certificate under my name, and so I wonder if like they'll count that. I would hope they.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because I've got like the enterprise account that I'm under for my email address, and like that's another question. Like I kind of held off because I didn't know like where are they going to get the credit card info from? Do I put it in as I'm signing up, or I don't know. I don't want to like.
They didn't ask for a credit card.
Oh, I heard they charge like $1, and then if you get in, like they'll charge.
I signed up. They didn't ask for it. They said that it was going to be charged $1.
Well, that's my worry is that it's going to be whatever cards on file for paying for your developer account, which I don't do. So I don't want my client to be like, "Oh, we got charged for an Apple TV."
What? Don't you have you have an iTunes account with a credit card, right?
Mm-hmm.
You use that same one for your developer account?
Yeah.
That's what they're going to charge.
But I don't. It's like I don't have like a $99 developer account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
what do you have? An enterprise account?
Yeah, they just invited me to their enterprise account.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Cool.
I didn't know who would get charged for it, and it just felt awkward, so I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I'll wait a little extra. No big deal.
Josh cannot explain a $1 charge to his client.
I can explain the $1 charge. It's what happens if you get selected and there's like that $199 charge, and they're like,
No.
what is this?
No, it's a $1 charge. You get it for free.
No. Once you're selected, you got to pay.
Do I?
Yeah.
What did I sign up for?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure.
I was on my phone when I was like going through it. Maybe that was something that was like a media query. It just like got out.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So back to the story at hand, like the React Native stuff, I think it looks interesting to me, right? Like, I mean, I think React is going to stick around. Like I plan to actually the app that I wrote that got me into Meteor worked with an Apple TV, and I'm thinking about like redoing the entire thing with microservices and React just to like play around and understand some stuff. So
I think React Native will work with Apple TV right out of the gate.
That would be pretty awesome.
Because Apple TV is built on iOS.
Yeah.
It always has been. Even right now. It's locked down. You can unlock it right now and install apps on it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you did.
No, I've never.
Oh.
No, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I can stream stuff to my Apple TV using AirPlay. Like, that's actually a pretty amazing protocol there. Like, I just issue a command and keep a connection open, and it'll play a video for me. It's pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I spent an entire day trying to figure out how to get Chromecast to do it, and I couldn't. So, gave up. Apple wins.
Cool.
Of course, I'm biased. So Kadira debug, they released an update. Have you used this before, Ben?
I personally have not.
Oh,
actually, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the feature first came out.
So the thing is, like, you can use this without having to put it into production. It'll work in production if you want, but you can just use it locally as well, which is kind of cool. So Kadira debug is really interesting because it's got like all the kind of performance analysis tools. Like, it'll break down all the calls that you're making. I forget what you call that. Perf tools, I guess, so it's almost like the perf tools that you never had, and it works with Node and all that kind of stuff. And you can see events that are firing off, like subscriptions and live updates on the client, which is really kind of interesting. Like, you can't quite, with Kadira itself, you can't quite dig into this level easily. You can turn on debug and take some snapshots and see what's going on, but still not quite like this. But so now they've released an update, and they're giving you traces where you can actually click through and pull up a similar trace screen to what you see in Kadira itself, which is super helpful because you can see like what is taking a long time. Like, I actually want to try to use this with Crater because there's some stuff going on in the front end that I think is a little wonky and needs to be fixed. And I'm not saying that's like any one person's fault. It's just stuff that needs to be looked at to help speed it up.
Right.
And, I think this is going to be a super helpful tool. And then they've also got this Ddp Timeline. So it'll kind of show you where you're spending your time in Ddp, and like it almost looks like a Gantt chart. So you can see where one Ddp subscription might be blocking the others from finishing and that kind of stuff. So really super fantastic view for trying to figure out like why things are slow, and how to speed them up. So I was pretty excited by this.
This is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And as always, like, the blog post has some animated GIFs in there, so you can kind of see what the features look like. So
Kadira needed a win. This is a win.
Yeah. Especially, like, was it last week we were talking about the Friday Night War?
Yes. Yeah. Fun stuff. I was wrestling with posting errors on Kadira earlier this week too.
Yeah.
It's becoming an integral part of our dev stack. So
yeah,
it's really cool to see the innovation keep on coming out, and Aeronota, great job, brother.
Yeah. I think, honestly, like if I had to give him one piece of advice, I think he's missing a payment level in between there. Like I'm at the point where I think I'd probably pay for Crater, but I don't want to pay $50 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I need to pay $50 a month. So
same here.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Aeronota.
You need like a $10 plan, man. Yeah.
Right. I can help him out with that, right, Josh?
Yeah. Yeah. You're good at that, Ben.
Let's talk, brother. So
that's it.
That's the end of the show.
Yeah.
Come to Tennessee. It's Friday.
Are you sad though? Like this is the end of the Meteor podcast?
Me?
Yeah. No. This is all your idea.
Before I even was a co-host, I brought this up.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been pushing for this for months and months.
I'm like I was the little bug in your ear about it.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. As always, be sure to check out Modulus, big sponsor, modulus.io for all your hosting needs.
Mm-hmm.
And Patreon, patreon.com/Meteor Club. You can sign up there and get access to the Slack chat room.
Mm-hmm.
Where things are always crazy and we're always exploring new ideas. I kid you not, someone was talking about React and Phoenix and Elixir or something along those lines today, and I was just like, what the crap? That's just crazy talk.
Yes.
So
I was right there with you.
Fun times in there for sure.
It is good stuff.
Yep. All right. So tune in next week. We'll be tweeting the new link and all that kind of stuff when it's out. Probably actually not next week. I said we're going to take a week off and get the new site up, and then we'll.
People keep a lookout on the Twitter feeds for the announcement for when this website's up.
Yeah.
And click retweet.
Or Crater. Pay attention to Crater.
Yeah.
I expect this will be like the top story for a week on Crater.
Are we going to make like a YouTube channel now? Since we're doing the rebrand? Are we going to do...
I don't know.
Recording off now.
No, stop. No. It'll probably just stay on my YouTube channel. I'll just keep growing my YouTube channel following there.
What's your name again? I forget.
Queso98. I was too
Not
late.
even Josh.
I was too late to YouTube. You can't change it after the fact either. It's like
you can add another
channel. Yeah,
dude, this is a rebirth. This is a rebirth. Node, React, we're welcoming into our bed with us. This is time. This is time. We can't be putting on the same old shirt. We got to change our user account name.
What are you saying? I gotta get a new shirt now.
And that's the original one too. So
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Crazy. All right. So if you don't watch the YouTube video, I'm wearing my OG Meteor shirt today.
Yeah. And in 2 weeks you'll find out who won. If we're still under the Queso YouTube or if we're under Crater. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I can tell you who won.
Yeah. I could do it. I could do it like what the other YouTube people do, where they like make like another channel and they just copy videos over.
You would too, wouldn't you? All right.
It would all be in love.
Guys.
All right.
We'll be back soon.
See you guys.
This video has been a Meteor Club production. You can find out more information about Meteor Club and join the mailing list by clicking on the Meteor Club button below. If you enjoyed this video, you can also hit the subscribe button below and get more content like this. Thanks for watching.